Kelly, happy December and welcome to my channel. I'm here to do my Christmas book guide. It's a little bit late, but hopefully still relevant to some of you, and it's, again, hopefully not going to be too long. Why do I say that every video? I'm going to start off with some non-fiction because in the new year I kind of like to focus on, there's no other way to put it, self-development, or if not self-development then self-reflection. I like to start off the new year, as many of you do I'm sure, with sort of focus and conviction that this year is going to be the one where I get SH12 done. So I'm going to start with my favourite book from this year, which was the first book of this year, and I will be doing a video for my favourite books of 2016. But that book is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which has the added bonus of being very beautiful. Like, even the paperback is very pretty. It's got the same design, and it's got the same sort of slightly buttery feel to it. This is by the author of Eat, Pray, Love. I've never read Eat, Pray, Love, but she does write beautifully and speak beautifully too. I've seen interviews with her, and I actually listened to the audio book of this, which was read by her and which I recommend. This is about creative living, but it's not poncy, you know. She's not talking about creativity in the sense that you have to be an artist or you have to be a musician. She's just sort of saying that at the heart of all of us is creativity, therefore it's not some kind of radical alternative choice to live creatively. That's the only way to be true to yourself, is to live creatively. And she is dispelling the myth of the tortured artist, whereby you have to suffer and starve to be a creative. This book led to the best 3 writing months that I've had in the past 10 years probably, and even then it only ran out because I just got so busy with other things. This was a wonderful way to start my year, and I recommend it as a good one to start your year with as well. Gretchen Rubin wrote The Happiness Project, which I do want to buy. However, I once missed my chance to buy it very cheaply at work, and now whenever I see it sort of close to full price, I just can't bring myself to pay it. So while Wordery was having their Black Friday sale, or I think it was the Cyber Monday sale, I bought Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. This is what I learned about making and breaking habits to sleep more, quit sugar, procrastinate less, and generally build a happier life. So if you know someone who is prone to making and breaking New Year's resolutions, this is about how to make them stick, about forming the habits that will make them stick. And she does, like, I've dipped into it, she writes like very clearly. Next, I have heard Gretchen Rubin reference this lady here, Laura Vanderkam, who also researches productivity, or rather I think her main life's work is researching productivity, and this book is about being aware of actually the number of hours you have to perform all these things you want to do, and how assigning priorities to them means that you can actually do all these things. However ambitious you are, however greedy you are for all the things, which is me. I always describe myself as greedy because I'm greedy for everything. This would be a good one, I think, and it's yellow, and yellow is my favourite colour. Next is also non-fiction and a little bit more coffee table-y. It is The Emotionary, a dictionary of words that don't exist for feelings that do. Words by Sher, comics by Julia Wertz, and as you can see, like, it is quite heavily comic style illustrated, and the comics are very expressive. So this is, as it says, made up words for existing feelings. They combine existing words. For example, let's find one. Non, the prefix non plus conversation becomes nonversation, which is a noun, a wordless interaction wherein an entire conversation takes place. And then here you have a comic of 2 women sitting together, just staring intently, not saying anything after this man passes, and then in the final frame, yeah, you're right, I know. A non-versation, I'm sure you've all had one. Then there is sad plus satisfaction, which becomes the noun satisfaction, the triumph of being wronged by others. And then there is a explaining comic alongside. They're touch and miss, like there are some that I just don't get or don't like or just seem a bit forced. Like illogical plus emote becomes illogimote, verb, to feel in a way that contradicts or undermines one's intellectual understanding of a situation. So I understand that definition, but illogimote, it just doesn't, it's not a word because no one would use it if it was. It's not a good word. Then there's irrelaxability. Oh, but there is this one here which I like and I could use. Lostracize, verb, to reject the support of others in times of grief. So, loss plus ostracize. You lostracize yourself. I have done this. Have you? Comments below. So that is the Emotionary. If you've been following this craze out of Denmark, the happiest country in the world, then you've probably heard of the many ways in which people say this word here. I thought I was doing a decent job of it by saying Hygge. I thought I was doing it okay, and then I was corrected by someone who knew better than me yesterday. So I don't know if I'm saying it right when I say that this is the Little Book of Hygge, the Danish Way to Live Well by Meik or Meik Wiking, who is from the Happiness Research Institute in Copenhagen, so you know he knows what he's talking about. Hygge has been, again, I don't know if that's the right way, has been described many different ways. It's cocoa by candlelight, it's that warm, fuzzy, curled into the corner of a sofa feeling, it's good company, it's good lighting, it's, how else have they described it? Taking pleasure from the presence of soothing things and just like the absence of annoyance. This is your guide to all of that good stuff. And to me, that just is Christmas in a bundle. That is the holidays to me. So that seems like the perfect time to read this book. Also, this is a very attractive little hardback, and I'm pretty sure I paid £4.50 brand new direct from Amazon.co.uk. So that's not a bad price, and I just think this will look really cute wrapped up. Next up, you may be familiar with this author's previous title, which was called Lost in Translation and was a collection of untranslatable words from around the world and would still be a good option for a Christmas gift. Excuse me. This latest one is called Speaking in Tongues, Curious Expressions from Around the World by Ella Frances Sanders. And as it says on the cover, this is Curious Expressions from Around the World. It's told in the exact same format as Lost in Translation. On the left-hand page, you have the language and an explanation of the expression, and on the right-hand side, you have an illustration with dual language versions of the expression itself. This one is a French one, and I don't speak French, so I won't butcher it, but it translates as to pedal in the sauerkraut, which, what does this mean? I've forgotten. Means, okay, that's really appropriate. It means to be at a complete loss or to have lost the train of one's thoughts, which happens to me all the time, usually when I'm filming videos. So you got Dutch there, and I speak Japanese, so I'm going to do this one. This is Sarumo ki kara ochiru, and that means even monkeys fall from trees, which is the same as saying everyone gets it wrong sometimes. I think this would be a great book, and also quite a good sort of talking point for Christmas Day if you have any, I don't know, awkward moments with family that you don't spend a lot of time with or don't have a lot in common with. Moving on to a little bit of fiction, I'm going to tell you about The Great Zoo of China by Matthew Reilly. This is literally Jurassic Park with dragons, and it's set in China. This is by, as I said, Matthew Reilly, who's one of those, he's a good choice to buy for men, and also men who perhaps aren't huge readers, because even though they're quite big, they're very fast-paced and accessible, or at least this one is. Get ready for action on a gigantic scale. An expert on reptiles and a skilled vet, CJ Cameron is difficult to faze. When the Chinese government invites her to a private unveiling of a magnificent top-secret zoo, she is intrigued enough to accept, but expects nothing she can't handle. Then the Chinese announce their astounding revelation. For decades they've been breeding a species believed to be the stuff of myth. Huge, vicious, and deadly. Despite the danger, the hosts stress that every guest is safe, but CJ spots flaws in the zoo's security and growing unrest among its captives. It seems it's just a matter of time before the enraged beasts break free. Literally, Jurassic Park with dragons. You may remember this next one from a haul I did, which I'll link up in the corner over there. It is Autumn by Ali Smith, which I still have not read yet, and it's obviously not autumn anymore. This sounds really interesting to me because it's very rooted in the here and now. It's set around the historic decision that was Brexit, and usually authors avoid being too present with their books because they want to be relevant to readers down the line. So it's quite a brave choice, and I understand that there's going to be a series of 4 of these, so getting this one for someone will be a nice way of contributing to that collection, which I imagine, going by this one, will look so stunning on the shelves. This one is this gorgeous rusty brown colour. It's cloth covered. Mine is signed. Where is it? There you go. It's got quite a small signature. Green end papers. I just think this would be a very nice gift, just aesthetically, but also it's Ali Smith, so you know that what's inside is going to be just as glorious. And I think the main themes in this are time and maybe change. Definitely time, which is maybe why she made the brave decision of rooting it in this time, or rather, it's already passed in that time. So again, what is it called? I'm peddling in the sauerkraut. I've lost my train of thought and I'm going to put this book down. My final fiction suggestion is another one that I haven't read but bought for myself because I would like to read it over the Christmas period. It is Home by Carys Bray. I heard about this through Jen Campbell's channel, and I also really want to read The Museum of You by Carys Bray. This one, however, is shorter. It's a collection of short stories based around the theme of home. Covers parenthood, childhood, loss, love, what else? Heartache, of course, joy, many things, but what really sold it to me was this part on the back here. Meet the mother who loves to bring babies home from the newborn aisle of her supermarket. I can't even posit what that could possibly be about, so I'm looking forward to reading this, and it's just so pretty. And my last bookish suggestion for what you could get someone for Christmas this year would be especially good for those who have historically tried and failed to maintain a journal. Say aye if that applies to you. Aye. That is the Q&A a Day 5-year journal, and it's not as threatening as it sounds because it is literally just 365 questions over 5 years, giving you 1,825 answers, which allows you to then look back and see how your answers to the same question have changed throughout those 5 years. So for example, on the 1st of January the question is, what is your mission? And probably your mission is going to change throughout the 5 years. And diving in the middle here, June the 8th, what makes you miserable? What makes me miserable? Right now, what makes me miserable? Oh, I'll tell you what makes me miserable. So this is a bit of a sneak peek of a haul I'm going to be doing in the very near future. I bought Revel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, partly because of this stunning cover, and partly because it starts with a gun battle in the middle of the desert involving a female gunslinger, which sounds awesome. I took it out, was just in awe of the cover as anticipated, but look at this sticker. Oh no, it's not a sticker. It's one of those inbuilt badge things, and it's not even an award. What it says is, like Katniss, love Ray, meet Amani. They defaced my book for that. But back to the Q&A a Day journal. 5 years, 365 questions, a sentence a day. We can probably all manage this one, although I might have to update you to say that I failed because I have bought this for myself, and it is so cute to hold. It's got this kind of craft paper feel cover. It feels like a scrapbook almost. It might end up getting a bit dirty, I guess, over 5 years, but for now it's very pretty. And did it have a ribbon marker? I feel like this should have a ribbon marker, but it doesn't. But it does have gold edged pages. Huzzah! There you have my suggestions for you to buy yourself or others for Christmas this year. Let me know if you get any of them. Let me know if you already have or have read any of them. Then I'll put those down there. Above all, have a wonderful holiday this year, whatever holiday you celebrate, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.